While I was using the software, I found a bug. And I called up the company and I said, please, I found this bug, could you help me with it? The person I got on the telephone was the president of the company. And he said, yes, I know what that bug is. He could say that because he was the head programmer. He said, I think we can fix that and do quality control on it this afternoon. And he could say that because he was the head of quality control. He said, if we do that, we can have it to you tomorrow morning. And he could say that because he was the head of shipping. And yes, the next day, I got 2 8-inch floppy disks in the mail, and the bug was fixed. Now, if each one of their 1,000 customers had found one bug and asked for one new feature, that would be 2,000 pieces of paper coming back to the 100 engineers. Each engineer would have to read 20 pieces of paper and respond to that. That's not a hard thing to do. But now it's the year 2009, and the little company has grown. They have 150 engineers, but they have 4.5 million customers. And now when you call the company, you no longer get the president on the line, nor do you get the head programmer, nor do you get the head of quality control, nor do you even get a shipping clerk. What you get is a message that says, please press button number 1 for sales. Button number 2 for support. And then what you get is, user. And then eventually you get disconnected. It's not because these companies do not want to give you good support. They do want to give you good support. It's just that they can't give you good support. Because if each one of their customers sent them one bug report and one request for new feature, that's 9 million pieces of paper coming back to the 150 engineers. And the problem report that you put in will never get answered. The request for new functionality that you made will never be done. And if you think this is only a story which I'm making up, it is not. Because I was the product manager for Digital Equipment Corporation's Unix system. And I tried to give 650 product requirements fixed one time in a release. I could only do 50 of them with my 550 engineers which I had. These companies cannot give you the software that you need. And therefore, the control of your software has been taken out of your hands and put into the hands of these companies. And that's a problem. Now, a lot of times, I'll have 1,000 business people in the room, and I'll ask them 3 or 4 simple questions. I'll do it here. How many of you have ever had a problem with closed source proprietary software? Raise your hands. Very nice. How many of you have taken the time or even have found a way to turn in a bug report to the company that made that software? And how many of you that took the time to turn in that bug report actually got back a well-worded workaround or a bug fix for that problem? Now, in a business room, I may get more hands raised. But with the last question, typically all the hands will go down in the room, except for 1 or 2 people, and I'll say, Mr. Gates, you don't count. I'll ask one more question of the business people. I will say to them, how many of them actually had to change the way their business worked in order to fit the way the software worked? And now, in a room of 1,000 business people, about 3/4 of the hands will go up. And this means that they have spent time and money in trying to make their business work the way the software says their business should work. That's a problem. You'll also often hear people talk about total cost of ownership. There's a large company in Redmond, Washington, who published a report that says that the total cost of ownership of free software is the same as the total cost of ownership of their proprietary software. They admitted that. Now, they said the reason that it was the same was that the free software obviously did not cost anything for licenses, and so it was less expensive. But the people who took care of it and installed it were paid more money than the people that installed their software. I said, this isn't bad. The people that are installing the software and integrating this software, I mean, basically you, would be paid more money to install free software than to install proprietary software. I don't think that's bad at all. But they said that over the period of 5 years, the total cost of ownership was the same. Now, I really don't care, because we should not be talking about the total cost of ownership. What we should be talking about is the value of the software. Let me give you an example. I go to the store, I buy a CD, it costs me 100 pesos. I take it home, I install it on my computer system, it takes me an hour of my time. The total cost of ownership is 100 pesos and an hour of my time. I start the software up, it does absolutely nothing. The total value is 0. I go to the store, I buy another CD, 100 pesos. I install it, an hour of my time. Total cost of ownership is the same. But when I start the software up, immediately my dog can let itself in and out of the house without me helping. My spouse comes home and kisses me on the cheek, goes into the kitchen, makes a fantastic dinner, and takes me upstairs and we make love the entire night. And let me tell you, at the age of 59, that itself is a miracle. My children come home from school with the best grades in their entire life, and the tax collector calls me up and says, "We found a mistake in your taxes, and we owe you 17 million pesos. And all of it is because of the software on that CD. That CD has almost infinite value to me, and I do not care that the total cost of ownership was 100 pesos and an hour of my time." You should not be looking at the cost of the software, but you should be looking at the value of that software over time and to your business. And I believe that free software gives you greater value than proprietary software. Now, most people do not want products. Most people want service. In New York City, it's very difficult to own a car. What you want is the service of transportation. I want to be able to go downstairs in my apartment house and there will be a car there waiting for me with a driver. They take me to wherever I want to go. I step out of the car and that car disappears and I go to wherever I have to go. It's the service of transportation. We call them a taxi cab. I do not like going to the food supermarket and buying food, then taking it home and cooking it. I do not like washing dishes. I want to have the service of having food prepared for me the way I want it. And I want somebody else to do the dishes. We call this a restaurant. Most people do not want products. They want the service. And today you will see more and more companies looking for the service of software